The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the drama will be more intense than ever in the Friday, April 11th episode. All the conflicts, calculations, and embarrassing moments are pushed to the climax, promising an atmosphere filled with drama. Here are the important developments and detailed analysis of the plot that will happen. Brooke has a hope-like moment, but it's Taylor who walks in. One of the highlights of this episode is the surprising moment when Brooke plans to seduce Ridge. She's only wearing underwear, eagerly preparing to welcome Ridge when she hears the door open. Ironically, it's Taylor who walks in. Unexpected situation. Brooke hopes to pick Ridge up to continue their never-ending cycle of feelings. This is Brooke's habit, always wanting to conquer Ridge regardless of the situation, sometimes even without considering the people around her. Taylor's surprise at Brooke innocently waiting for Ridge certainly made her angry. Not only did Taylor feel hurt that Ridge seemed to be manipulated again, but she was also angry at Brooke's brazenness. Of course, when the seduction plan was discovered, Brooke would be embarrassed to find an excuse. However, as many viewers predicted, any explanation from her would hardly appease Taylor. The possibility that Ridge will have to choose. This situation will put Ridge in a difficult position. He will have to face the choice of whether to publicly defend Brooke or try to appease Taylor. Almost every time Brooke is around, this love triangle always explodes with conflict, and this is when Ridge will have to consider more seriously than ever. Tension between Steffi and Hope, and the calculations at Forrester Creations, although not directly appearing in the Brooke, Ridge, Taylor incident. Hope is the one who is compared to Brooke in this moment. In the episode, viewers will also see Hope asks Carter about taking power. It is unclear why Hope is looking for Carter. However, based on the context at Forrester Creations, it is possible that Hope wants to consolidate her position or wants to find more power to protect her position from constant changes. Steffi wants Hope to leave Forrester Creations. The simmering competition between Steffi and Hope is not strange. Conflicts in the work process and personal life always cause them to disagree. This time, Steffi seems not to want to share any opportunities with Hope. For a long time, Hope has always tried to build her own image, avoiding following the footsteps of Brooke. However, the situation of comparing her to Brooke can affect Hope psychologically. She will have to fight to escape her mother's shadow while maintaining her position at Forrester. Sheila and Luna's plot to separate Will and Elektra. Another plot that is getting more intense is Sheila and Luna's attempt to separate Will and Elektra. She is known to be scheming and willing to do anything to get what she wants. This time, she has her eyes on Will, perhaps because he is the key to many benefits or further plans. Sheila also does not want to risk losing her freedom, so the possibility of extreme actions such as kidnapping or murder is low. However, no killing does not mean Sheila stops scheming. Luna is Sheila's granddaughter and seems to be ready to support her grandmother. From the information revealed, Luna will be very eager to prove herself and score points in Sheila's eyes. She can act sophisticatedly, stealthily, sowing doubt between Will and Elektra. Divide and conquer tactic. Both can take separate approaches, one to Will and one to Elektra. By sowing doubts or feeding false information, Sheila and Luna can cause a rift in trust between the two young people. The possibility of Luna becoming a hero. Sheila could use the scenario to create her own problems so that Luna appears as a savior to save Will. However, this is just a guess. The audience will have to wait and see if Luna really acts like that to gain trust. Will and Elektra's future. Besides Sheila and Luna's tricks, Will and Elektra also have concerns about their future. Talking about the future, this young couple is in a crucial stage. They have love, but their immaturity and countless obstacles from others can cause their love to fall apart. Being targeted by two scheming characters like Sheila and Luna is no different from a strong psychological blow. Will's decision. Will he be sober enough to face the insinuations and incitements, or will he be manipulated? If he suspects Elektra, this relationship can collapse faster than ever. Elektra seems to be smart, but whether she is wise enough to recognize Sheila and Luna's trap is another matter. The seeds of suspicion can push their love to the brink of collapse. The end of a dramatic day in a whirlwind of intrigue and calculation, The Bold and the Beautiful continues to show the audience the instability that never cools down. Each character has their own motives and reasons for action. Brooke is still determined to win Ridge's heart, despite Taylor being present. Taylor is angry and disappointed when she has to face the scene of Brooke approaching Ridge. Ridge is forced to make a difficult choice, once again standing between two women he once loved. Hope must explain her ambition to take power, while facing Steffi, who wants her to leave Forrester Creations. Sheila and Luna secretly pull the strings to separate Will and Elektra, creating gaps to carry out their purposes. Will and Elektra are at risk of having their relationship shaken when their future and shared happiness are targeted by scheming people. Ultimately, while many schemes may fail or be exposed, what makes the audience most curious is how the characters will respond when things get out of control. Will Sheila be more clever than everyone, or will Luna accidentally reveal a loophole? Will Brooke continue to add fuel to the fire, or will she be backfired by her own excessive actions? And will Ridge dare to openly choose someone to end this endless vicious cycle? Surely, the Friday, April 11th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful will make the audience hold their breath watching every scene. From the seductive plans being caught red-handed to the secret plot to sabotage other people's love affairs, everything promises to be a drama not to be missed. Get ready for big changes, because here, love, jealousy, greed, and constant calculations are always waiting to explode. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that the upcoming episodes will revolve around Brooke's attempts to win back Ridge's heart, especially when their relationship is shaken by Hope's decisions. While Brooke and Ridge's marriage has been on and off many times, things could get even more dramatic this time around as Brooke considers two big moves to win Ridge's heart. Here's a breakdown of both strategies and their potential consequences. Convince Thomas to return from Paris with Douglas. A plan to score points with Ridge. Brooke knows that Ridge misses her son Thomas and grandson Douglas. This feeling of separation only increases when Thomas and Douglas stay in Paris for a while. Brooke's initiative to convince Thomas to move back to Los Angeles could satisfy Ridge's longing. Ridge has always loved Thomas and Douglas and longs for their family to be together. If Brooke arranges, contacts, or uses her influence to bring them back, Ridge will definitely be impressed. Proof that Brooke has changed her attitude towards Thomas. Everyone knows that Brooke and Thomas have always been at odds because Thomas was once infatuated with, and even obsessed with, Hope. Brooke always thought that Thomas did not deserve to be near Hope. However, if she took the initiative to improve her relationship with Thomas, at least on the surface, Ridge would see that Brooke seemed to have learned to understand and put aside old conflicts to unite the family. Impact on Brooke and Thomas's relationship. Even though Brooke took the initiative to invite Thomas back, it cannot be denied that Thomas has many prejudices towards Brooke. The two had too many conflicts in the past. Brooke did not trust Thomas, thinking that he was always trying to take Hope. Thomas also went through a period of obsession with Hope, even having unpredictable behavior. However, Thomas is now more mature, understands his limits, and wants to prove that he is no longer the same person. Ridge has tried many times to help Brooke realize this change. Brooke's giving in to Thomas to come home could be the key to clearing the air and scoring points with Ridge. Brooks benefits being the one to bring the family together, showing Ridge that she's trying to mend things, rather than tearing them apart or causing more conflict. Getting closer to Brooke's reunion with Ridge could go a long way once Ridge sees Brooke changing and understanding his feelings. Pushing Hope out of the cabin and Brooke's property proves that Brooke is listening to Ridge. Motives for kicking Hope out of the house. This is an extreme move, but with Brooke, sometimes the more shocking, the more effective. Ridge is unhappy with Hope's behavior, from Hope stealing the company, from Ridge's perspective, to her not taking responsibility for her mistakes. Ridge feels that Hope lacks remorse and is delusional about herself. Show that Brooke is no longer covering up. Brooke has always protected Hope at all costs, even denying or making excuses for her mistakes. Ridge recognizes this and sees it as a key point that is tiring him out. If Brooke suddenly takes action to kick Hope out, Ridge will think that she finally understands him and is on his side. Conflict of family love. The mother-daughter relationship may be damaged. Obviously, Brooke kicking Hope out of the house just to please Ridge is not something a mother would normally do. Hope will certainly be shocked, angry, and think that Brooke betrayed her. Brooke is willing to sacrifice family love to keep love. This is the key question. Does Brooke value reconnecting with Ridge so much that she is willing to sacrifice her relationship with her daughter? From a strategic perspective, Brooke may think it's better to let Hope go for now, and then everything between mother and daughter will be resolved later, while Ridge is someone she does not want to lose again. The situation if Hope moves in with Deacon. Daddy Deacon has suggested, if Hope feels like she no longer has a place in her mother's house, she can take the initiative to move in with Deacon. Thus, Brooke herself can take advantage of this opportunity to tell Ridge that this is her intention that she supported or even arranged. Brooke's advantage, even if Hope leaves on her own or is fired, Brooke can still turn the story around, explaining to Ridge that she took the initiative to do what he wanted. Risks for Brooke. Although the plan seems perfect, Brooke still faces many risks, losing trust from Hope. Even though she knows Hope is grown up and has her own life, she will find it difficult to accept her mother's harsh actions, especially when the two used to be very close. Will Ridge really come home? Ridge is known for his changeable emotions. Even if Brooke removes the obstacle, no one can be sure that Ridge will immediately come back, because he has many other reasons to hesitate, such as his feelings for Taylor or other internal calculations. The Forrester family or Logan do not easily accept the broken mother-son relationship. People like Eric, Steffi, or even Liam can all criticize Brooke. The possibility of success and long-term consequences. The ability to win Ridge back. The strategy of hitting the family mentality. Ridge always values family. If Brooke calls Thomas back and cuts off the cover-up for Hope at the same time, she is hitting two major weaknesses in Ridge's psychology, missing her son and grandson and her dissatisfaction with Hope. Decisive action. Brooke's willingness to do these two bold things can impress Ridge because it shows that Brooke is truly determined beyond empty words. It is also a way to show that she accepts change and listens to Ridge's wishes. Risk of increasing conflict. Brooke may lose her daughter's favor. After all, Hope is still her biological daughter, and breaking this trust can leave a rift that is difficult to heal. Thomas, not easy to tame. Although Brooke wants to show goodwill, Thomas's return to Los Angeles also means that she has to live with him more. If Thomas realizes that Brooke is doing everything for her own benefit, he may not cooperate. Taylor and her supporters. If Brooke and Ridge reunite, Taylor will be hurt. Characters close to Taylor like Steffi may strongly oppose, creating new conflicts. Summary and predictions. As usual, the bold and the beautiful brings the audience spectacular turns, and this time Brooke is facing two risky choices that can bring great results. Use influence. even give in to convince Thomas to return with Douglas. The goal is to help Ridge no longer be empty, while showing that Brooke is trying to accept Thomas as part of the family. Stop protecting Hope, even kick her out of her own house. This is a strong move that shows Brooke is listening and respecting Ridge's grievances towards Hope. Of course, after making these two moves, whether Brooke is successful or not depends on the reactions of the people involved. Does Thomas want to return to Los Angeles? How will Douglas feel about being pushed back into a family full of conflicts? Does Hope feel that her mother has abandoned her daughter for a man? Will Ridge appreciate this move, or will he doubt Brooke's motives? The only thing that is almost certain is that once Brooke takes action, the episode will become extremely dramatic. Will she win Ridge's heart, or cause a series of breakdowns between people who are already difficult to get along with? All changes can only be answered when the latest episodes air, and the audience certainly cannot miss this dramatic development of the bold and the beautiful.
Oh.